Hi everyone, I'm Georg Voros, and for those who don't know me, and I'm very honored to be here with you, maybe not in physical body, but in spirit, and also through the medium of this video. I'd like to first of all start off by saying well done to Sean Noonan for organizing the Cape Town Drummers Luncheon, the very first one, and I really hope it's a great success, and that you follow on and support it well and invite everyone else to come in and keep the whole thing going, because that's what it's all about. It's all about supporting each other in this industry. The reason for this little video clip, Sean asked me if I'd say a few words, and obviously I'd love to do that, and he said, could I talk about endorsements? I'm going to do a bit of that, but I'd really like to focus on another subject, so I'll get started on my views on endorsements anyway. Really, my endorsement, let's talk about my oldest running endorsement first of all, which is with Sabian. As you can see, I'm sitting in my studio here, surrounded by drums and keyboards and my recording equipment. It's my sanctuary basically, and I love being in this room. And yeah, Sabian cymbals, why do I play them? Well, first because I love the product, and that's the thing about endorsements. You must love the product, you must like what you enjoy, otherwise there's no point in it. Now, my relationship started with Sabian in 1998. How that happened was I had moved down from Leeds in the UK, which is northern England, to London, and I started my school. I moved to London around about 95, maybe, around about there. Can't remember, it's a long time ago. But I'd been in London a while, and I'd been playing a lot and doing a lot of traveling, and decided, okay, I want to start my own school. I had a school in England, but in Leeds, but it was a part-time kind of thing, and I wanted to form a full-time school. It took me about a year and a half to achieve that. But aside from that, I got a little press article in our local paper, and what I didn't know was that Jerome Marcus, who was the European A&R guy for Sabian, he lived just down the road. He had moved into the area, so he saw my article there and phoned me up and said, "Hi George," and I had met him before when I met Dom Familaro actually in 1995. And he said, I see that you're starting a drum school up, and luckily in that picture as well was a Sabian cymbal. There was a crash cymbal in that picture. And he said, I'd like to extend, or I'd like to introduce you to a Sabian deal of sorts. So I went there, and I started on the first rung of endorsements. What is that? It is, you get the gear at a discounted price. Now that in itself is an incentive, because instead of paying full price, you get a very nice generous discount. But more so than that, for me, it's about starting the relationship with the company, and that's really what started, and that was important. I was with Sabian until I left the UK, and I had a UK deal, which was a Sabian UK deal. When I came back here in 2003 to South Africa, what had happened was in England they had sent details of me coming back to here, to Canada, to Sabian Canada, and Dane Marshall, a few months after I'd got back here, he got an email from Canada. He called me up and said, "Hi George," and we had never met before, and I'd like to extend your Sabian deal in this country, and do you want to come and see me? And of course, I went to see Dane. We sat down, and he told me what he could give me and so on, and that was also when actually I got my Premier deal as well, because he was a Premier endorser, and he offered me really the choice of Sonor, DW or Premier. And I took Premier because in the 90s I played Premier, awesome drum kits, and I chose to play Premier. Once again, choosing the equipment that you like. I mean, DW is great stuff, and so is Sonor as well, but I had the experience with Premier. After I had got my Sabian deal in this country, about a year later I got my international Sabian deal. and that was also through recommendation from Dane to Canada. What that is called, it's called a Meductic agreement, and I'm a continental endorsee. What that means is I'm an endorsee outside of the US, continental endorsee, and I'm an international endorsee. You go onto the Sabian site, you will see me there in the international section. And what does that mean now? Basically, I get my gear for free. So from that initial, 12 odd years ago, getting introduced to the company and starting on that first rung, I'm in a position now which is very envious, and I have a lot of Sabian symbols, believe me. And I don't actually take symbols every year because I've got too many symbols. And I know a lot of guys, and especially my students, they see what I have on this setup, and I've got symbols inside, and they think, wow, you're so lucky. But you know, it's not luck. You make your own luck. I really believe that, and that comes that goes as far as endorsements as well. Because foolishly, many years ago, like a lot of guys do, they think, okay, our band's recorded the first CD, and now this is carte blanche for me to start receiving all this free gear. Here we go, companies, here I am. And they open their arms, and the companies go, okay, well, what have you got to offer us? And that's the whole thing about it. What have you got to offer the endorsement company, the endorsing company? I'm endorsed as an educator, and I have influence at my level of involvement in the industry, and that is from my studios here, my teaching studios, and also the clinics I do. I had the magazine. I started the magazine in this country, Drum Magazine. That was a major part of it as well. And so I have influence in my level of involvement. There are guys who are band drummers. They have a much higher profile than me in that sense, and they influence guys in that sense. So if you play for a band on the same level as, say, Seether, for example, you're going to be seen on the Sabian poster, and you're on MTV and so on. So it's a whole different level of profile. So always remember, when it comes to endorsements, that it's about what you can offer the company, and it's about loyalty. Loyalty. I've been offered other cymbal brands as well, and fantastic brands, and basically what I play, I like. At this present point in time, I'm an international Sabian endorsee. I'm an international Mapex endorsee. Why did I choose Mapex? Because I played the product in the 90s as well, and I had actually played the product. It hadn't been on the market very long. Mapex hasn't been around that long, but it's a good quality, fantastic product. That's why I played. I like the people involved. My Mapex agreement was offered to me from Paul Bothners in Cape Town. Great bunch of people. We get on very well, and that's what it's about. It's the relationship that you have with people as well, not just the product. I'm an international Vater endorsee as well now. I'm a South African Evans endorsee, and I'm also now a South African Roland electronic drums endorsee. Once again, from that side, I have to thank Paul Bothners down here in Cape Town, and also Tom's Music in Joburg as well, for making that happen for me. And thanks, guys. I've got the TD12 electronic kit in here, which I'm working on and getting used to, and the SPDS 9 pad, fantastic gear. So that really isn't about endorsements. It's about, what do you offer the company? What can you bring to the company?